Follow the story on the US election with BBC News.
My dad was a farmer, but he also had a radio talk show for farmers who called in with their farming problems. He'd patiently listen to every conflicting account of what was and wasn't working. That was really influential to how I approached my journalism. Building trust by taking the time to understand a situation clearly before reporting a story. In a 24-hour news cycle, patience can be so frustrating, but it's a crucial tool. I'm Lucy Hockings on BBC News Now.
Live from Washington, this is BBC News. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken reportedly postpones his trip to the Middle East ahead of planned ceasefire talks this week. Ukraine continues to push through Russian territory in the biggest cross-border attack since the start of the war. And African health officials declare Mpox, formerly known as monkeypox, a public health emergency as the disease spreads rapidly across Central Africa. Hello, I'm Rajini, Vaidyanathan, and welcome to this hour. We begin in the Middle East, where Hamas says it's fired 2 rockets at Israel's largest city, Tel Aviv. Hamas released footage of what it says shows the rockets being launched towards the city. Explosions were heard there, but there were no casualties reported. All of this comes as the US Secretary of State Antony Blinken has reportedly postponed his planned visit to the Middle East. He was due to be in the region ahead of Thursday's ceasefire talks between Israel and Hamas. The US has been pushing for both parties to return to the negotiating table, but it's unclear whether that will happen. America's ambassador to the UN told a Security Council meeting the goal overall was to turn the temperature down in the region. Well, as world leaders scramble to de-escalate tensions, Iran and Hezbollah are vowing to avenge last month's killing of Hamas's political leader Ismail Haniyeh and a top Hezbollah commander. On the ground, the war in Gaza continues, with Israel claiming to have killed around 100 Hamas fighters in Rafah in southern Gaza in recent days. Palestinian medics have said 19 people died in Israeli airstrikes on Tuesday. With 4-day-old twins, their mother and grandmother reported to be among those killed. Lucy Williamson has more from Jerusalem.